What's going on, guys? Welcome to Expat Life, where you're joined by myself, your host, Noah, and my lovely guest today,
Was. Good to see you, Noor.
Nice to see you, mate. How you doing?
Not too bad. It's getting hot in Doha, let's just say that. We're in mid-June now, and it's definitely heating up.
Yeah, I think early June it started hitting up, so never mind the mid.
Yeah, no, it's definitely getting there now.
But I'll tell you what, this is going to be a very interesting episode because it's not our first year here, it's not our second year here, it's actually our third year out in the Middle East.
Yep, going
in
into
Qatar.
the fourth year now, 3 years out. It's been quite a journey, to be honest.
Quite a journey. You tell me about it. I feel like, though, for me, blink of an eye and it's the fourth year. Where has time gone, man?
It has genuinely gone quick. It's flown. I remember the first few weeks when we originally came over to Doha. So one of the issues was adapting to everything, adapting to the climate, the weather, meeting new people, trying to figure everything out. And I think, we're definitely going to talk a little bit about that.
Absolutely. Now, on about what you just said there though, about adapting to the climate, etc. I feel like over the years, that's one thing I didn't adapt to.
Yeah.
Because look, like you said, we're in mid-June now, and it's touching 30 to 40 degrees.
Yeah.
Now, for anyone looking at this from back home, 30 degrees in England would be hellfire, right?
Yeah.
So it's crazy. We're talking about England 10 degrees maybe. That's what it is here. 30 degrees is super hot.
Yeah.
I don't think I adjusted to that ever.
No, it's like, you know what it is? I think everyone says that the main difficulty or hurdle people find here is the heat. It is pretty much, you get about 4 months of cool weather, where it is similar to places like England and other parts of the world, where it's like, let's say, close to 20s, 25. But the rest of the year, especially when it hits April, May, June, July, August, and it does go into about the tail end of October, it's at the point where you think twice about going out because it's that hot. And
Absolutely.
it's like, you got to think, do I really want to go out? Do I need to go out? Or can I just stay home and order something in? It does make you a little bit lazy.
Yeah, but it saves your life as well because the best friend in this heat is going to be the AC.
The AC,
AC, you can't live without it, that's a fact.
Definitely.
But anyways, so I guess these are things we're going to talk about 3 years into our life of moving out and being an expat.
Definitely.
So the first one I want to know from your side why did you move out? Why you came from England to the Middle East, Qatar specifically?
Yeah.
Why did you move out?
I think I need to go back more than 3 years. I think 3 years out in the Middle East, out in Doha. Why did I pick Doha? It wasn't a place that I sort of chose. It sort of coincidentally happened. Life just sort of went that way where...
You didn't choose Doha, Doha chose you.
Yeah, you could say that. It was similar to the year prior to me coming out to Doha, I was approached by, some opportunities to move out to Doha and to consider it as an option. At that time, I wasn't ready in my personal life. Family-wise, I wasn't too keen on just moving out straight away. So I thought, you know what, maybe I'll look into that in the future. And that future came about. The following year, I was approached again for similar opportunities. And I thought, you know what could go wrong? Let me try it out. I spoke to my family, spoke to my loved ones, because I felt like it wasn't just a decision that I had to make. It sort of affected those around me too. But it happened pretty quick. It was one of those things where I think it was around April time. I remember in the UK we had sort of a mini break for Easter. And it all happened within a week to 2 weeks from there. And then the next thing you know, you're sort of okay, getting things sorted, so moving and planning. And it's I'm going halfway around the world and you're like, is this really happening? So
I'm fully with you on that because I went through something so similar. At first, I was looking for jobs.
Yeah.
Just working. I was constantly working at home. And opportunities arise. So I thought about it. At first, I was like, wait, this can't be real. Someone's just going to say, you know what, here's an opportunity. I was like, let me see what happens.
Yeah.
So it got to the point where I was speaking to loved ones as well. So I said to my mother, I was like, you know what, I'm going to go to Qatar.
Yeah.
And at that point, I'm traveling anyways, just like yourself. I like to travel. The world's a big place, My mum literally said to me, oh, nice, how long are you going for? I was like, Mum, possibly 5 years, possibly 10 years, you never know. She looked, she was like, that's not a holiday. I went, we need to sit down and talk. I think I might be moving.
Permanent,
So it was all surreal up until the point I actually came here. I was like, wow, okay, this is life-changing.
Yep.
Because I've literally moved.
Yep. around the world, yeah. It is, and I think sometimes people don't give. I mean, sometimes when I talk to people that are still, in the UK or thinking about moving, they're like, was it difficult? Or you're so brave for doing that. Or, I could never do that. And it's like, I think sometimes people surprise themselves that you could do it. I think you just need the right support system and the right opportunities to maybe do it, or the right sort of infrastructure in place that can help that transition to move over, because you are moving over a lot of your life. You're making friends from scratch. You don't know anything about this new place that you're moving to. You don't know the people, you don't know some of the cultures. Because it's also a big cultural difference as well, coming from the West to the Middle East. It's an Islamic country, it's a Muslim country.
Absolutely. So just before you talk there, it's a good thing that you mentioned that, because I was actually going to ask you then, what is the biggest difference that you found and you had to adjust to coming from the UK to Qatar?
Okay, I think the easiest one, I wouldn't say it's easy, I think it's definitely something that if you are coming over from the West, it's something that you will notice. It's the days of the week. The days of the week here is Sunday all the way through to Thursday. So your Thursday would be like your Friday night, or like your Friday, and then your Friday is your day off, your first day off, the day of Jummah, Friday prayers, very important day in Qatar. And most people will get the day off. And then Saturday, which is your second day, which would be technically like your Sunday. So adjusting to the Friday, Saturday as the weekend was definitely something that was like, okay, how do we do this? But after a while, you get used to it and you sort of adjust.
No, it's good that you're saying you got used to it. You know what's weird for me? I find still, when I wake up on a Friday, I'm like, I need to go to work.
Yeah.
But I'm like, wait, it's a weekend.
Yeah, it's a weekend.
But there's one more thing, and I'm not just saying it, I find it so weird.
Yeah.
Even though it's the same, you get the same amount of time, 2 days off, right?
Yeah.
Whereas back home in England, it's Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
Here it's Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
Same 2 days off.
Yeah.
For some mad reason. Friday, Saturday goes super quick.
Yeah.
Whereas back home, Saturday, Sunday is like, I've relaxed, it's good. But here, the same 2 days just go quick. I'm like, wait, what?
I think one of the reasons for that is because on Fridays here, half the day, everything is closed. And I think most things open up after Jummah, which is around, let's say, 1:30, which is midday. So you sort of lose the morning half. Whereas in the UK, you'd have a Saturday, everything's open from 9 a.m., like 8 a.m. So you still get 4 or 5 hours. I think might be like a...
I'm with you, actually. Yeah, you can already do your plans in the morning.
That's it.
And have your evening free.
So it might be that.
Maybe, that's interesting. Maybe that's it. So 3 years in, I need to change my mentality. Interesting. So as well, you mentioned about it being an Islamic country, of course. We're not going to sugarcoat that. It is what it is. You go to different countries, different cultures. Of course, some people,
sure,
just putting out there, have a image of, oh my God, the Middle East is an Islamic country, it's Muslim rule, what a... Listen, tell us, what's your experience? And don't be biased, because obviously we're both Muslim, but what would you say to them people, like, you moved to a Muslim country, is it scary? Oh my God, Sharia law.
Nah, to be fair, it's not that bad. I think sometimes an image is painted or represented in a certain way that maybe makes a certain part of the world look dangerous or unstable, or somewhere that it's not safe to go because it's going to be like this, or you can't do that, and you can't do this, or you're going to be restricted, and And to be fair, my whole time here, I felt nothing but respect. I feel like it's a very respectful country. I personally have felt respected as an individual, as an expat living here. I feel like everyone treats you with respect, even when you go to the malls. Uber drivers, I've never had any issues with. Even the locals, when we've interacted, nothing but respect from myself towards them and from them towards me. We've all been courteous to each other. And I think sometimes people have the perception, but I think unless you experience it yourself, you're not going to understand. I think what I think was a really good thing for Qatar was when we had the World Cup. And I think having the World Cup opened up the doors to the world and was like, okay, well, we are a Middle Eastern country. Come see the World Cup, experience Qatar and our culture and what we have to offer, and see for yourself, is it really as bad as people say? And I think that left a lot of people really surprised. They were so hospitable and they had such a great time, very safe, and they loved it. And I think that's why tourism now in Qatar has gone up and is going up.
You're right, because social media was booming and people were genuinely saying they're surprised on, they had an image of coming to Qatar, but then they left the most happiest ever. This always makes me laugh. One of the funniest videos I've seen of someone reviewing, and I want to say reviewing,
Qatar.
okay? Qatar, when they came for the Middle East, this is a new concept to them, and I find it crazy. But just to put it out there, the concept of a bidet.
Okay.
So you go to a bathroom, you wash your bum, bro, come on, cleanliness. But this person, the funny video part of it was, they were like, I've never seen this back home. They're so clean, they even wash their bum. I'm like, brother, don't you?
It's funny because coming from England, you don't really see bidets in England. It's not that common. But if you go to France, or you go to parts of Morocco, or other parts of Europe, a bidet in a hotel room is normal practice. You'd have a sink, a toilet, and next to the sink is a bidet. And most people don't know what a bidet is for or what it's used for, but it's just, a way to keep yourself clean and to wash yourself.
Yeah. Now, of course, if you don't use it back home, you're not used to it, which is fine. You still clean yourself up. But it's just that video was funny, man. It blew his mind. He was like, wow, they're clean people.
I haven't seen it, but definitely something to watch.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So within these 3 years, it's been a huge lifestyle change, of course.
Sure.
Like complete difference in terms of culture, like you mentioned. Tell me about your likes and dislikes of this country. But don't just stick to the country. What's your likes and dislikes in general?
In general, to be fair, likes and dislikes, it's a bit of a tricky question, to be fair, because, I mean, the things we like or we would want out of life, I think a big aspect is safety. Safety for oneself and for loved ones and family and friends. Coming from England, one thing that is definitely something that was always at the back of my mind, or something that I always felt a little bit uneasy, was that I was always looking over my shoulder. And it wasn't really only, let's say, at night time or in the evenings or in certain areas. It was just majority of the time you're always on guard.
Right.
And you're sort of always in a stance of making sure you've got your belongings, you've got your bag, your phone, your wallet, you've got your car keys. Am I being followed? Is someone around me? Am I safe? And I think that's a very big reason where a lot of the West and a lot of Europe is struggling with, because people don't feel as safe as they used to. And I think coming here, one of the big reasons and one of the big pulls is something that we really like and really enjoy is the safety aspect. And I think you don't realise it until you're living in that safe environment.
Yeah, I think it takes time for you to adjust to that, because I agree with you. We're both from England, bro, so I understand exactly what you mean. Now, again, I feel like I'm going to do this again, and I'm going to record it for experience just to prove what I'm about to say, right? So again, my first year here, do you remember when we all got, we were living in the hotel, Ezan Hotel we were living at, right? Just underneath it, there was a coffee shop. Always, it was busy. Now, I've always seen people in Dubai mention this, but it's obviously Middle East in general. I was shocked, but let me explain to you, right? People leave their car keys out on the cars. People leave their laptops and phones on desks. They leave and they come back and it's still there. I was like, they just recorded it for the video. Of course they didn't do that. Listen, bro, you answer this for me. I leave my car keys on the coffee shop table and I go for 2 minutes. What's going to happen when I come back in England?
You may come back to no keys.
No car, bro. You got no cars. There's potential that can happen.
But
high potential, sadly, but there's a potential it can happen.
100%. It's just the society that we live in.
So what I tried was in the coffee shop. I remember I had work to do, so I got the laptop out, did work. I was like, I've left my USB up in my room. And we were living high up in the hotel, so the elevator takes some time to get up there. So I got there, I got comfortable. I just chilled out at home for a little bit, and I came back down maybe 30 minutes later. Brother, my laptop, my mouse didn't move. I was like, wait, 30 minutes gone in a coffee shop, my laptop and everything is still here. These people aren't lying about the Middle East. No one is here to steal your things, man.
It's just that culture, and until you experience it, you don't realise. And like you said, we've had similar experience to that. Like you've had that experience. I've had experiences where I've gone to a mall, and I'm like, okay, quickly, we found a seat, we found a table. Let's keep it. Okay, you sit down, you wait here. I'll go get some food. And then, we were like, no, you know what? Let's leave our stuff here. Leave your phone on the table. Put your backpack or your bag on the chair and say, okay, I'm holding this table. Go grab your stuff, come back, and
it's there.
Everything's there as you've left it. No one's touched it, no one's bothered it. It's there, it's holding your place, And you'd be surprised, like a lot of those videos that we do see on TikTok and Instagram or YouTube Shorts, where people leave their cars and their wallet and money out and laptops open. No one genuinely does not. It's not faked. It is real.
Yeah.
I've never had an experience here, you know.
No, so like we're talking about here, this fact, I'm going to do a social experiment on this just to prove what we're saying, because I feel it's insane. To me, it baffles me now, because don't get me wrong, brother, I love England. I can't wait to go back home in the summer coming up. We get 6 weeks. I can't wait to go home, man.
Yeah, definitely enjoy that.
But I just know, definitely, I need to switch my mentality and not leave my laptop in a coffee shop. 100%. That's a fact that I know I'm not going to do.
I'll say safety is a very big you know, that we enjoy. Coming from the West, dislike would be the opposite of that, which is not feeling super safe. Other likes in Qatar, I feel like everything is very convenient and it's sort of focused around you as, let's say, a consumer or as an individual that can benefit from this. I mean, I've had experiences where I've ordered something and the item has arrived to my door within 2 hours or less than 2 hours. And that's a convenience that I don't have access to, or I've not experienced in the West, where that convenience of having someone quickly deliver and drop off an item. I've ordered on an iPad before, and the person from the shop has brought the card machine to my apartment to say, okay, you can pay for that. I didn't have to pay for it online. They called me up, said, this is the one you want. I was like, yeah, they did the receipt, everything. They brought the item to my apartment with the card machine, and I paid for it. They got the receipt there. Like, where does that happen?
Customer service, bro. That's insane.
And you get used to that, and you get to that sort of life where, if I need anything done, it can happen like this. And it's a very convenient sort of country where things like that. And that wasn't an extra cost. That was part of the normal price. If you ordered it over a certain amount, that's included. And that's something that you really do enjoy.
Absolutely. You know? Yeah, I get that. So on the contrary then, of all these lovely things that we like, honestly, I guess the list can go on forever. So to keep it short and snappy, is there any dislikes? If there is,
I'd say the main one is, we already mentioned, was the heat. The heat is definitely a big factor that you think about a lot, and it takes up, a lot of your I wouldn't say it takes up a lot of your day, but it definitely is something to consider, because the weather, it's like, imagine it was raining all year round. You wouldn't really want to go out all the time in the rain. The weather here, majority of the time, is warm and it's hot. Yes, we have ACs in the cars and the malls and where you're living, but it's definitely something to consider. Some other dislikes, I'd probably say, I wouldn't really say dislikes, more something that you adjust or you try and get used to. It's sometimes traffic can be really bad. We have a big, because Doha's not that big. Doha's quite small. So Doha, Qatar. So Doha's like more like city centre, and then you've got other parts of Doha, Qatar, like Al Wakra, Lusail, the new city, Al Rayyan. So different provinces, different cities within like the main city.
Yep.
And I think traffic, because everyone sort of congregates or uses the same motorways and the main roads and roundabouts, it can get quite congested at certain times. Traffic is bad, and they do try to make it flow. And obviously some traffic lights, sometimes can take up to 5 minutes.
Yeah, it does. You're right.
As you may have experienced yourself.
Yeah, there's one thing I want to touch up on about traffic, because funnily enough, you faced it on your way coming to the studio.
Yeah.
Listen, explain to everyone watching now, what happens when you do a wrong turn in Qatar?
So yeah, it's a funny one. It's not like in England, you do a wrong turn, you just go down the side road, do a U-turn and come back out. With Qatar, the way the sort of roads are laid out, because a lot of it is like, let's say, highways or motorways, you've got maybe 4 or 5 lanes going one direction, and then 4 or 5 lanes coming in the other direction. And let's say you're going to go straight, you need to get into your lane early. So you're going to go straight. And then if you're going to go left, you're not going to go to the right-hand side. You're going to go more towards the left, where you do like a little U-turn to go back on yourself, or to do a left turn. Now, if you miss that turn, you now have to drive maybe 1 kilometre or 1.5 kilometres to the next point where you can do another U-turn to come back on yourself. Because it's not really the concept of side roads. They do have them, but you can't just go down there and do a U-turn, because you're just going to end up back on the same road you was already on. Yeah. You have to keep going and wait for the next turn to come back.
And it's a long road down, that's the only issue. It's not just, like you said, a quick side road, it's a very long road down.
And in certain parts, it can add 5-10 minutes onto your journey.
100%. And that's any advice?
Yeah.
Just don't miss your turn.
Yeah, but look, the other thing is, like, also don't be risky with driving. And what I've realised is myself here, since I do drive here as well, you know, Ubers now and again, is the way sometimes people drive. Again, probably another dislike is people drive sometimes quite recklessly, quite carelessly. A lot of people don't indicate to tell you as to where they're going to go. They're going to go left or right. Because I think the concept here is that if they indicate, the person behind them is going to speed up because you don't want to give them way. And I think that's a very silly way to look at it, because I think you need to understand that those indicators is to indicate to the person behind you and around you what your intention is to do.
It's the whole point of signaling. You're signaling, you know what, I'm about to do this.
Exactly, so that in case someone doesn't go into the back of you, someone's trying to go left and they don't realise that you're also coming right and then you collide. So yeah, road, traffic. But again, that's not Qatar's fault. That's not a thing that Qatar is to blame for.
No, of course, like I said, it's a dislike of you personally, because you never know, someone else might be loving the roads back home, but when they come here, it's something you need to get adjusted to. Absolutely.
But it's also the fact that we've got people that come from all parts of the world and they've got different styles of driving. We come from a country where we have a very systemized way of driving.
Yep.
Everyone gives way, everyone indicates. So I think people have different views and concepts of how they drive. So that's definitely something, but yeah.
And just one more thing to talk about the roads really quickly.
Yeah.
It's not that I feel like it's actually a fact anyways. Qatar's adopted the American style roads, right? Where they're huge lanes, so many lanes and big roads.
Yep.
But for a small country, I feel like, personal opinion, I don't think that's best suited for a small country.
Sure.
The UK system, I feel like the road system would have been perfect here for a small country.
I reckon. I mean, we do drive on the right-hand side of left-hand side.
Yeah, no, they're opposite to us back home.
So here, yeah, we drive on the right-hand side. Your steering wheel's on the left-hand side. If you're coming from England, where you normally have your steering wheel on the right-hand side, here we have the passenger side there, so we're driving on the left. It is an adjustment, but I think because the way the city's been built and the amount of space we've got, because it's built onto the desert, it does. But it also, having a motorway does make things quicker to get to. So if you especially live further out, you can quickly get into. I guess there's pros and cons.
Don't knock it till you try it, basically, right? Come here, experience it for yourself.
Try out.
Oh, that's lovely, that's lovely. There's a lot of things about Qatar you're going to learn for yourself. You can only come here, check it out for yourself. Now, the only thing I want to touch up on then, for people, I guess not just Qatar, if they ever think about becoming an expat in any other country they ever want to move to. I know, for example, for now, Australia is a big hotspot as of time we're talking now, because I've got a lot of mates back home moving to Australia.
Yeah.
There's still an expat, eh? You got to change your life, get prepared for it.
Yeah.
What would you personally give advice for to someone thinking about, oh, you know what, let me move out? Let's stick to Qatar. Okay, so we got friends back home, they want to move to Qatar.
Sure.
Knock some advice out.
I think the best piece of advice, and it could be different for everyone, because I know everyone's got different situations, everyone's coming from a different sort of life experience.
Yeah.
Me personally, I would find it quite difficult to do Qatar alone or doing it as a solo person. Luckily for me, I have some family here, which sort of helps in the sense of having a little bit of people to share parts of your life with, your ins and outs, you know, work, day-to-day, weekends, things to do. Because I find personally, if you don't really have a sort of friendship group or people that you can share your time with, days can get quite lonely. You might find yourself doing things to occupy your time that you may not have done previously, or you may be finding yourself going out a lot more because you don't want to be sitting at home on your own for hours on end. So you might find yourself going out, which then, depending on what you've come to Qatar for, if you're trying to save money, that may detriment that you're constantly going out a few times a week and on the weekends. Your goal was to save money, but now because you're alone, you're sort of spending more money to occupy that time.
Of course.
Or maybe, so similar to that. What about yourself? How do you think about that?
So my advice is, if we're looking at Qatar in general, so I'm speaking from the point of view in Qatar, one thing that shocked me, not in a bad way, but hey, it's something new, and advice for you would be, get prepared to understand that rent is pretty expensive in this country. You're not going to find these prices back home. Okay. So obviously this is now the second place I moved out to. Yeah. But it's ideal for me. Yep. It's very ideal. But rent prices are pretty damn high in this place.
Rent is definitely something that is, because I think for that it's probably because it is a small place, and obviously the less of it that is available, the more there will be a demand for it, or the more they can charge for it. It's like London.
It's a business end of the day. I do understand that.
It's a business, but again, it's also lack of land or lack of development that they could rent out. So London, if you look at prime London or central London, it's quite expensive. And that's because there's lack of it. Now, as you go further out, it gets cheaper. And that's similar to Qatar. If you want to stay in areas like West Bay or the Pearl, or let's say Lusail or Qatar, which are more popular tourist, I want to say tourist, more like expat
much more
locations,
developed as well,
most developed, more newly developed, you're going to be expected to pay higher amounts for it. If you was to move out a little bit further out into other areas such as Al Rayyan, Al Wab, Al Wakra, Al Bukair, Lusail, you might find that, okay, certain parts, so you might save a little bit less on your rent, but you may not have such a big development around you, such as malls and coffee shops and things to do, because they're still developing those areas, but you'd find that it's cheaper on rent.
So going off with what you just said there, truthfully, I learnt this the hard way as well myself. In my first year when I moved to Al Wakra for a little bit, big up my uncle, stayed with him for a little bit. But as nice as the area is, don't get me wrong, Al Wakra's nice.
Yeah.
Brother, you are so isolated away from everything. West Bay is like 30 minutes down the road. Yeah. It's crazy.
And it can feel like that for sure.
So definitely some advice would be take a look into where you want to live and is there any benefits, like is there malls near you, is there parks near you?
Yeah, and obviously, look, you'll find your feet. I mean, if it's something that people are considering to move abroad, it's more like it's an adjustment period. It will take you a few months to a few weeks, you know. If you are moving out for work, I'm sure work will definitely give you some sort of advice and some tips on how to get about your first few weeks and how to adjust and how to find things, even like getting a SIM card and starting a mobile phone contract. That in itself is a different thing.
Absolutely,
or cars, which we'll talk about at a later time, but it's like something that you learn to adjust, and you'll find, like, I myself have moved twice since being here. First location we had, stayed here for over a year and a half. I was like, yeah, I like it. But then as time went on, my needs changed. The things I wanted for my apartment changed.
Yes.
Or where I wanted to stay sort of changed. I wanted, more space. Or I wanted a balcony. Or I wanted easier parking. So then you're like, okay, where can I move to? So your adjustments will change based on how you progress in your time.
But then you're going to search accordingly for it, right?
Absolutely, So different locations have its needs, pros and cons for that time and for that situation. As you mentioned before, when we first all came, we were in one location. It was very, very good, very centre of the city. Pool, gym, sauna, steam room, coffee shops nearby, restaurants downstairs, little supermarket.
Very ideal.
Everything at our fingertips. And I think at that time, that's perfect because you don't have to venture out too far to get your necessities or to get by. You feel comfortable.
But that's good for your first time there, right?
Yeah.
Because then that's you adjusting slowly to,
Absolutely.
Okay, this is what I've got, this is what I can do.
And over time, as you want to explore a bit more, you realise new parts of Qatar or areas that you like to be around, or like you find that you're visiting often. You want to be near a mall, so you might, I might want to live in an area where I'm not too far from a mall that's got a cinema, because I do cinema quite a lot. So maybe it's something that, so your needs you'll pick and choose a place based on how you spend your time in Qatar and adjust and learn.
And one more thing I just want to mention, because I find it funny to this day, right?
Yeah.
So for me back home, whenever I say to my friends, "Oh, look, I'm 20 minutes away," okay? 20 minutes. It's not that bad, to be honest. Look, back home, 20 minutes away. That's actually close by.
Sure.
Now, I understand the reason for it now, but I'm just going to say what I'm going to say first. When I first moved here, someone's saying, "Oh, look, to get to Lusail, it's going to take 20 minutes. That's long." I'm looking at them like, 20 minutes is long. Yeah. You're joking me.
Yeah.
20 minutes is next door. What do you mean?
Yeah.
But then this is my understanding of it now. So 20 minutes back home, it's quick journey, done, dusted. Here, 20 minutes out. It feels long because Qatar's a small country, right?
Sure,
Of course, now that is going to affect it. But one thing I realise as well is 20 minutes doesn't account to your time in the traffic, how long it's going to be at a red light, etc. I'm like, okay, wow, so 20 minutes is actually long.
Yeah. It's like back home, right? So let's say a journey that would take you 20 minutes. Even though if that same journey was replicated in Qatar, that probably journey would take you maybe 10 minutes. Whereas in England or in the UK, because of traffic and traffic lights and other sort of systems that we have in place for the road, even though it's a journey of, let's say, 5 miles, it will take you 20 minutes. But when we say in Qatar that the journey is taking you 20 minutes, you're covering a distance of almost maybe 10 miles, okay? It's almost double the distance that you're doing. But because of the way the roads are laid out, and we mentioned about the highways and the way they've done the American system, once you get onto the motorways and the highways, you are moving constantly. Everyone's doing, let's say 80 kilometers per hour, which is the sort of speed limit, 120 on the main expressways. You are doing a good speed, and it's A to B. And it's only really when you get off of the highway where you hit the small traffic lights, but you're covering a larger distance in the same amount. Whereas in England, you might cover 5 miles. In Qatar, you're covering almost 10 miles, which is almost double, but you can see how... But yeah, most places here, it's a magic city. And the conversation I've always had is everything is 20 minutes or 25 minutes away from wherever you are.
It's true.
And
You're
it
right.
sort of does work out door to door, 20 minutes.
Because I've noticed, because I like going to city centre a lot.
Yeah.
It's 20 minutes from here. And I didn't realise that, because then when I go to Lucille, 20 to 25 minutes, I'm like, wait, I'm at a location where everything around me is 20 minutes away.
Absolutely.
It's insane. I love it. Can't complain, eh?
Yeah. Going back to the previous point we were talking about is, how did you find adjusting to Qatar, coming out alone for the first time?
So yeah, at first, just to elaborate on that, you've actually said the points at the beginning.
Yeah.
You need to really change your whole life around because you're moving. You need to think about where you're going to live, etc. So the first year was just experimenting.
Yep.
And you'll know what I mean by that. Like, okay, what can I do here? What's ideal for me?
Yep.
Because end of the day, it's not England.
Yep.
I don't have my friends next door to me.
Yeah.
Met new people. I go out and I talk to people.
Yep.
I think for me, personally, I'm a very outgoing guy, and that's not to toot my own horn, like we all are. But I like to talk.
Yeah.
So for me, I was just going out and about, and I was like, yo, how are you doing? Where are you from? We're expats, remember?
Yeah.
And you know this figure, and this is crazy to me. In Qatar, their own national people, they have a population of 200,000.
Wow.
So when I say to you, population of Qatar, like including everyone, is 2 million, bro, there's 1.8 million expats living here. So that's a lot of people, man.
That's a lot of people. So you're saying there's 1.8 million expats?
Expats compared to their actual own...
200,000.
Yeah.
So
now the figures plus or minus a couple, but still you're looking around that ball figure.
That's less than 10% roughly, or just around 10%.
It's insane, man.
90% coming from other parts of the world. Wow, looking for better opportunities and better life.
Exactly. So whenever you bump into someone...
Talking to people,
you bump into someone, they're not from England, guaranteed. They're going to be from somewhere else in the world. Yeah. So it's good. I like it. I do like that aspect.
I like that point that you make, because I found that I personally needed or more of a friendship group, or more to do with, adjusting. Obviously, you're saying that because based on personality as well, you can meet new people, but depending on who you talk to and when you put yourself out there, and you can meet people from different walks of life that you may not have come across previously in your normal day-to-day.
Yeah, it's good. Wow. It is good. I do like it. And for me, I love this. I genuinely love this. So not just in Qatar, in the GCC in general, so in the Middle East, you know who's Qatari or not. Because Qataris obviously wear the thobe and the headdress that they wear. And I asked around sometimes out of curiosity when I first moved here. I was like, when your own people step out the house, why is all the men wearing? No, it's basically the same thing. With respect, I'm saying it is, let's just call it an outfit for the sake of argument. Sure. Why are you all wearing the same outfit? They're like, that's identity. I'm like, okay, why don't you want to wear joggers? Why don't you wear joggers? It's like, we can do, and we sometimes do, but our national pride is this end. So I'm like, you know what? I love it. You're very much your own people, and you take pride in it. So who cares if they're all wearing a white thobe? That is their identity.
Yeah, it's a very big part of the culture, and the white thobes and the headgear. And obviously, there's more history into it when we do probably in another episode. There was reasons for that sort of headgear as well. Because remember, it's Middle East. It's to protect yourself from the sun, and it keeps you cool in this sort of desert climate. But yeah, the men obviously in the white thobes and the ladies in the black abayas, it's just sort of a big part of the culture, a big part of tradition. And it goes down to respect as well. They heavily respect their traditions and their history and where they come from, and they want everyone to see that, you know, we're proud of where we come from, and this is a national dress. National dress.
I guess tradition as well, though.
Also, you find that a lot of expats and also people that are visiting Qatar will buy themselves a similar outfit to take back home or to wear it in Qatar too.
Yeah.
Because some people I've seen myself that are wearing the outfits, then they're not from Qatar, they're not Qatari. They're maybe from India, from Pakistan, from Europe.
But it goes back to
I myself am wearing something similar. I've sort of adjusted it a little bit.
Yeah.
I've had the sleeves taken off, had the collars removed to make it more comfortable for myself. And obviously I'm not wearing a headgear because I do get quite hot. But you sort of adjust it to your sort of style, and I think so.
There is one day in Qatar that, without a doubt, everyone, for one day of their life, become Qataris. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Qatar National Day?
Qatar National Day, I'm telling you. Everyone on the streets will be wearing the thobes and headdress. And it's not trying to pretend to be Qatari.
Yeah.
It's the love of respect that we have for the country. It's like, it's nice to celebrate them. It's nice to celebrate them.
So celebrate the country,
It's good. I like it. And it is funny because even I'm wearing it. I'm like, yep, you know what? This is comfortable, man.
So it's definitely a big part of the life here. And you please don't feel awkward wearing it. As long as you wear it with respect and, you know, try and... It's hard to copy because obviously these guys pull it off because they've been wearing it for years. And sometimes... The headgear can be quite difficult to put on, but it definitely takes adjustment. But wear it with pride, wear it with respect.
Yeah, but you know what it is? The nationals themselves, they love it. I'll tell you a funny story. On one national day, I was walking around the souk, obviously thobed up. I was like, come on, man, this is a life. My headdress, I just put it on thinking I put it on correctly. I had a little Qatari kid say, excuse me. I bent down because there's a little kid, and he goes, he starts sorting my headdress. I was like, respect, kid. Thank you. But it's their national pride, man, and I love it and I respect it. It's good.
Absolutely nice.
It's nice.
It's very nice. And like you said, locals and people that have been wearing it for a long time will come and help you and be like, look, just a little bit, little touch up here. Maybe put your little pen in your pocket, just a little accessory. So you will, you know, people do. It's nice, a very nice part of it.
It's good. Solid advice there given. Anyways, there's a lot to learn about being an expat, and I've really enjoyed hearing your point of view because everyone's journey is different here.
Absolutely.
We could all be expats here, but what I do is different to you, and the next person as well. It's always going to be different.
And there's so much to talk about. I feel like episode 1, you know, with this and talking to yourself and sharing our experiences in Qatar and, you know, starting this off, just to share with other people that are in similar boats or maybe already expats themselves, or maybe are thinking of becoming expats, or thinking of, even not if it's not Qatar, anywhere else in the world, it's definitely a good little insight as to lives of current expats that are living and working and building a life in a foreign country, different to their own, and just sharing what we can share. And
it gives you an idea in case
anyone's
thinking of it. Oh, absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what though, it's been lovely having you on, and I promise you now I'm looking forward to having you on again because you've been a great person being talking to.
It's been great to come on. As my first time doing this, and it's definitely been a great experience.
The first time? I would have thought this is your 50th time or something. You're a natural star at it, man.
I love the studio. I love what you've done with it.
I appreciate it.
Look forward to doing more.
Thank you very much for your time, Catch you next time.
Take care.
Right, guys, so that's been Expat Life. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video if it was being insightful for you. And also, if you're an expat or you're not an expat, comment down below. I still want to hear your experience. If you're an expat, what it's like being an expat. If you're not an expat, let me know if you're thinking about being an expat. And I said expat too many times there. I'll catch you guys next time. See you later.